Another way to express economic relationship could be using equations. So equations are nothing but the mathematical representation of the relationship between the two variables. So apart from the graphs and tables, equation is one another neat way to present the ideas or the concepts or the theories and really summarize the main points. So you could express the relationship in three forms. One is using the tables, the other is using the graph, and the third one is using the mathematical equations. So let's consider a simple case of a straight line. So we use equation of a straight line to express the idea or the relationship between two variables. Let's understand the components of a straight line. So here is the equation of a straight line, y is equal to a plus bx, where y and x are my variables of interest, and the a and b are the two constants expressing that relationship between the two variables. And point the sign plus represents that that is a positive relationship between two variables y and x. On your right hand side, you have the graph of the straight line. In an xy plane, when x takes a value of 0, right? When x is a value of 0, so this number is 0, y would take a value of 8, correct? And as the value of x goes up, the value of y also goes up, represented by this positive sign. So that is a positive relationship between y and x. That's why you have an upward sloping line. And the line starts with the constant a, and every time the x goes up by 1 unit, say for example, y would go up b times that 1 unit, meaning the slope of this line is equal to b, or positive b, because there's a positive relationship. Right? This is an abstract way to look at the equation of a straight line. Let's consider an example. So you have an example of income and spending. What would you expect? You would expect that income and spending is positively related. The more you make, the higher is your spending. So at higher levels of income, you will be spending more. So here's a simple example. I is represented by income and S is representing the spending. And the spending depends on income. And there is a positive relationship between spending and income. So there is a plus sign. In terms of a graph, it's a straight line. When income is 0, let's consider that first. So income is 0, in which case the spending will be 100. So when income is 0, you would spend $100. And then as you make more money, as the income goes up, the spending also goes up, which is represented by this positive sign, which means the spending and income are positively related. And the slope of this line is given by 0.5, which is capturing that idea. If the income goes up by $100, you would spend half of it. So if this is 100, half of that 100 would be your spending, increase in spending, which means $50. So every time you get $100, you would be spending $50. This is an example where you have a constant slope and it is a straight line. Very well, this sign could be negative, of course, which means you will have a downward sloping line in an xy plane. This has a negative slope. And hence you could represent the relationship between two variables using a mathematical equation. Here we consider a very simple case of a straight line. You can have more complex equations representing the relationship.